everyone, and welcome back to a brand new video, and welcome to round 16 of Season 3 of our F125 Red Bull Driver Career Mode. Yes, we return this weekend here for the Italian Grand Prix at the Temple of Speed, the Autodromo Nazionale di Monza. Of course, if you missed out on the video that went live at the weekend from Zandvoort, I would highly recommend going back and checking it out. The normal Zandvoort layout is pretty boring, to be honest, inside F125. The reverse layout, though, is absolutely wild, and last week's Grand Prix was exactly the same as you would come to expect from that venue. We had a pretty disappointing time out of things, though, and I must admit, I'm getting slightly nervous as we head into these final few races of the World Championship. We've got a 47-point lead over Lando Norris in the World Championship, but you can see, obviously, 2 wins in the last 4 Grand Prix for him. We've had 1 podium. It was a dominant win in Belgium, but we've, only had 1 podium in the last 4 races as well. So Lando Norris is building up some momentum later on this season. Still a brilliant championship fight, though, going on a little bit further back. Albon, Piastri, Sainz and Leclerc all covered by just 17 points there as Verstappen after his second DNF of the year and his 5th race where he didn't score a point. Disappointing for him. Is down in 7th overall in the championship. We've got a 24-point lead now in the constructors as well, but, McLaren are going to be right there. Williams might even be right there come the end of the season as well. So let's just see how we get on. Of course, if you're new and you aren't already, please do consider getting yourself subscribed to the channel as well. We're getting closer and closer to 14,000 subs at the moment. Without further ado, though, let's return here to the Italian Grand Prix.
They call it the Temple of Speed, and the pilgrims have come to worship. It's all about the speed today. Qualifying awaits us. Welcome to Monza for the Italian Grand Prix.
Well, if I had to put my money on anybody this weekend, I think it surely is going to go the way of Williams. They've always got a very quick car in a straight line on the F1 games. Obviously, Monza is basically all about the straight line speed. Getting ready, though, for our first run in Q1. Hoping, obviously, we can get a nice slipstream from Leclerc and Esteban Ocon just in front of me. I think we gave Lewis Hamilton a decent tow as well. As will the Aston Martin man to get out of the way down at the first corner. No, he will not. I mean, what is that? And why are the AI so bad when it comes to just getting out of the way on this game? Well, there we are then. After that rather disappointing start, I hope that isn't going to set the tone for the rest of the weekend here at Monza. We're going to head back out onto the circuit on the same set of tyres, but hopefully this time around we're not going to get anywhere near as much traffic in our way, as there's only about 4 more cars out on the circuit right now. Mercedes and Williams, and then both of the V-carbs, I believe, as we make our way down in towards turn 1. There you go, Liam Lawson kind of just about getting out of the way there. Almost dived me back at that first corner then, but we could see lap times down in the 1:15s by the end of qualifying as well. So, we need to try and get a decent first lap on the board, but this has never historically been a particularly good track for Red Bull there. And you can see it's not a bad first split, but it's not fantastic either. Obviously, Verstappen dominated this race IRL, but of course, no one really expected that. I don't think heading into the weekend there is trying to get the car nice and tidy through those first few turns. And as we make our way down out onto the back straight as well, then see down the hill under the old circuit, 217 miles an hour at the moment. Tip the car in. Just hope that it sticks through the exit of Ascari then, nice and tidy on the run. Obviously got to try and manage the battery as well, though, around this lap. So, Hamilton on a 1:16.8 is currently the benchmark we are chasing. Down to 5th gear there through that final corner. Carry the speed through the apex so you can give yourself the best run off the corner. Use the battery on the run to the line. 16.5. We only go 13th spot. I'll have to try to play down Red Bull's chances. Verstappen, he's gone 9/10 clear of myself after the first runs here, so we need to find a huge amount of time as we head out ready for our second run then. The Dutchman currently fastest on the board, but with Alex Albon right behind him as well, who knows what will happen. We need to be super committed on this final run. Not going to use as much battery down in towards the first corner there, but 218 miles an hour, 219 as we spot the 100-meter board. Wow, take a lot of curb through the first part there. Kind of had to tip it in and pray that it was the right point, and it really wasn't. Won't find anything on the exit of the corner for our troubles. But I'm hoping as the lap unfolds we're going to be able to find a little bit more. Ferrari down in 11th and 12th as well so far, having an absolute stinker for them. As again, we just cannot get this Red Bull position where I need it. We'll find 3/10 by the time I get down through that first sector. Or through the second chicane, I should say, but then out through the Lesmos. Again, really got to try and tip it in. 0.2 of a second up. But we are not finding what we need to. Leclerc suddenly now, out of nowhere, goes to the top of the board, as I think we're going to see a lot of surprises by the end of this qualifying. Only down 2 gears as we tip the car through Ascari, and we'll find another couple of tenths for our troubles. Ocon, a 1:15.1. Where on earth does that come from? As Verstappen goes even faster right at the end of qualifying. Championship leader, we are going to be nowhere near the fight as we make our way through the final corner. Half a second up on my previous best. It is only P11. Well, I think just, unless we've had a session with erroneous circumstances, I don't think I've ever been 0.9 of a second slower than Max Verstappen here. But we've got our work cut out as we head into the race. I thought Esteban Ocon had sprung the ultimate surprise by getting the car fastest there, but by 0.005 of a second, Verstappen able to go even quicker. Leclerc in third ahead of Albon, Norris, Antonelli and Gasly means 7 different cars from 7 different teams making up your top 7. It is a wide open as we head into the race there. Ollie Behrman up in P9 means that, 8 different teams have got a car inside your top 10. We will end up there just behind George Russell down in 11th spot. Bortoletto there in 12th. And then, the V-Carb's really struggling right at the rear of the field. But such a mixed up grid. Who knows what's going to happen as we head into the race.
We're back in Italy once again for another round of the Formula One World Championship. And what a great race is in store for us today, here at the oldest circuit on the calendar, which hosted its first race all the way back in 1922. We're 12 miles northeast of Milan for today's Grand Prix at a Monza circuit where we can expect top speeds of around 215 miles per hour. 11 corners on this 3.6-mile track, with 7 of those coming in the form of chicanes. And with a good slipstream and DRS open, there should be plenty of opportunity for some passing here today. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. World champion Max Verstappen starts from pole position, and it's Esteban Ocon in P2. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Albon, Lando Norris and Antonelli, Gasly, Sainz, Behrman and Mr. Monaco, Bortoletto, Piastri, Nico Hülkenberg and Colapinto, Doohan, Hamilton, Liam Lawson and Lance Stroll. Russell and Isaac Hadjar rounds off the grid. Now it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track. And alongside me today, a man small in stature but big on comment, Anthony Davidson. Hello. So here we are at Monza, Temple of Speed, lovely long straights, and that's it. It's easy, isn't it?
It's a little bit harder than that, Crofty, than you make out. I mean, yes, you do have those long straights, but it's linked by very tight, tricky corners. Big emphasis on braking zones around here as well, particularly into turn 1. You decelerate at the 150-metre board down to the 50-metre board, and you'll scrub off easily over 150 miles an hour. So, it puts a lot of G-force on the drivers' bodies as they decelerate. And obviously, it throws up a big overtaking opportunity as well come race day.
Right, this is a high-speed circuit and therefore we need low downforce, which of course means that DRS is not going to be quite as powerful. But hopefully we're going to be so quick we're not even going to notice it.
Well, Mark, they're trying to hype us up a little bit, but I'll be honest, I'm nervous here. We just do not have the speed in this Red Bull. It's a track where the AI, especially as you go further and further through career mode, they just become insanely quick around this venue. It's to do with the ERS and their management, or lack of, that really does make it very tough for the human player. We're going to try the one stop, though. I think that's going to be the way to go this afternoon. A pit stop here will lose you a fair amount of time, but safety cars and red flags aren't impossible to come by around this venue as well. We've gained a spot courtesy of George Russell. We've got 5 red lights on the grid. Oh, and a mighty long hold before it is lights out. And away we go there, off to a fairly wheel spinny start. Oh, look at that Gabriel Bortoletto trying to stick his nose in on the run towards turn 1. I think I'm 3 wide with the Saubers, but we will try and have a bit of aggressive manoeuvre down the inside, hug the apex through turn 1 there as well. We've got Ollie Behrman, and I believe that was Sainz on the inside there, so we will make the places exactly what we need to do through that first corner. Get the elbows out, but still try and play it fairly safe and tidy, as Ocon and Verstappen still fighting up at the front. Of course, we've already seen, yeah, those two come together before. Obviously been teammates previously inside F125 as well, which is rather funny still to think about inside this game. But as we try and tip the car through the top of the circuit, though, on this first lap, Gasly just in front of us there. But yeah, Sainz will want to try and move back through. But we've settled in quite nicely off the start. Like I said, we are going to have to try and use ERS management over the course of today as well there. And has tipped the car in through the chicane first time round. Just got to try and get the tyres up to temperature. But this is one of those races where you've got to be super, super patient. Unless your name is Carlos Sainz, apparently. To the outside will go the Williams man. We will keep the nose there, though. We'll try and give him a bit of a squeeze. And yeah, Sainz cannot find the grip around the outside there. As we start lap 2, though, I think the AI are about to go 3 wide down in towards someone there. I think I can see Albon. Yeah, there you go. Trying to look around the outside there as, oh, his teammate tries to have a look down my inside of that first corner as Albon gets a bit shuffled out. Oh, Ocon, I believe, now up to the front of the order. But yeah, definitely this helps us out nice and early on. I'm just trying to charge up the battery pack. As I mean, Sainz can get a run on me basically everywhere around this venue right now. Luckily, we are super late on the brakes, but it's a bit risky. See, I mean, everybody is trying to make moves nice and early on, as we're going to try and do a bit of a top speed test then. Because already we're almost down into the 1:19s for our front runners. But I mean, look at this, 229 miles an hour. That will be VMAX there, as Carlos Sainz able to pretty much match my speed towards that first corner. As, oh, we will go around the outside of Carlos there and send it to the inside of Andrea Kimi Antonelli. That was not my full intention, but with such fine margins at the front of the order, we've got to try and make moves happen and make them happen nice and quickly to the outside of the young Italian. Of course, home race for him. We will go later on the brakes. We will chuck the car in, and we will be up into 7th. Oh, here we go, Andrea Kimi Antonelli. Again, trying to look down the inside of that final corner, but we do just seem to be able to get the braking around the outside of him there. As Gasly now, oh, I think, no, he did just stay in the DRS, didn't he, of those cars in front. Of course, for F125, the DRS detection point moved from the apex of the final, or before the final corner, to out of the final turn. There's a huge dive bomb coming in on the Frenchman. As Verstappen's going backwards, we are going forward there. So is our Dutch teammate maybe compromise his setup a bit too much for qualifying speed? I mean, he might have front wing damage for all I know. Is around the outside through Curva Grande. We will have to try and make it happen. So we'll have the inside line ready for the next corner. And there we go, up another one. And up then into 5th. Of course, the big one today, of course, is making sure that we stick with Lando Norris. If I can outscore the McLaren man, brilliant. If I can just hang with him and pray that he doesn't win, honestly, I'll take it. I know I've spoke about it before, but I mean, this circuit really does resemble almost NASCAR-style pack racing inside the F1 games. I mean, look at that, the AI trying to go for moves on each other down in towards turn 1. I am barely trying to hang on to this lead pack then, as Albon and Ocon now wheel to wheel for the lead of the race. See Ocon looking for his first win this season, Albon looking for his second. I believe they've both got 1 win though inside this career mode, because obviously Ocon won obviously that historic Chinese Grand Prix back in season 1. But yeah, really now just trying to hang with these guys, as that is not the line we needed through the chicane. But as long as we stay in the DRS, it gives us an opportunity to recharge the pack. As I don't know what's wrong with Verstappen, but he's now locked in battling with Gasly. So your top 5 have ran away. Ooh, okay. So I can already see then on the mini-map, quite a few cars diving into the pit lane. So there's definitely going to be a lot of 2-stoppers around the order this afternoon. I mean, yeah, the tyre wear's not great, but it's not horrendous. It's mainly the left-hand sides that are really, really struggling early on, but that's not too much of a shock. Considering most of the corners here are right-handers. But yeah, will we see any of this front group then opt for the 2-stop? As you can see, Leclerc now trying to go for a move on Ocon, and this might provide Alex Albon an opportunity, well, to try and run away. As you can just see there how much Lando Norris has to check up through the exit of the corner. Albon now, this is his chance to scamper away and build up a bit of a lead. As look at this, Ocon and Leclerc still side by side. down in towards the final corner. The Ferrari man trying to do it for the Tifosi as Ocon and Norris slot in just behind him as Albon's pitting. Why? Why is Albon two-stopping this race?
And you're going to be on hards next time.
I mean, look at that, though. Everybody trying to find a manoeuvre down in towards turn 1 is 230. That is the quickest I've ever seen inside this game there as people slide around the outside of Norris through turn 1.
That's why I love working with you.
I don't think I've ever clocked 230 inside this game, but clearly the Red Bull powertrains, the Honda power unit, whatever it is inside the game files, looks to still have a little bit more over everything else. It's down the middle of Leclerc and Ocon we will go, and finally up into the lead then on just lap 9 here. We have averaged an overtake a lap, but we've just done a triple. We've got yellows down towards, I think that's Franco Colapinto. And on what has been a tough season with Ferrari so far, gets even worse in front of the home crowd there. Colapinto, first driver out of the race, has no idea. I think Ocon was trying to play DRS tricks down in towards that final corner. A safety car now wouldn't be too bad as Ocon's in. Why are the AI 2 stopping this race? Surely it is not needed, as it's going to be Ferrari, McLaren and Red Bull now back at the top of the standings. As Norris tries to have a look around the outside of Charles Leclerc, can't make that happen. But after just taking the lead momentarily, I'm happy just to sit back in. I mean, look at this. These two really going for it as we get closer and closer towards the pit window. I'm just trying to have a, save the tyres a bit more. Because that, rear left is feeling very, very sketchy. As here goes Leclerc again then on the run back in towards turn 1.
We're going to box this lap and push hard on the in-lap. Okay, so we're leading our
often it
teammate
seems
by
to be
6.5 seconds.
Often it's kind of the pit window that kind of spreads the cars out a bit more in this race. Often it's the first stint that is hilariously frantic there as Albon now. I think he's done that in clear air. Albon's just running 18.9 as Sainz goes even quicker behind him. Obviously, both Williams, they're definitely on a two-stop strategy. But, I mean, the battle at the front, though, this is critical for us as even Oscar Piastri and Antonelli now trying to bring themselves back into the fight. But if you want to win this race, you got a one-stop, unless we get a safety car. But that seems less and less likely. Just dropping back slightly from Norris and Leclerc, though. But will one of them, or either of them, try to extend this stint? No, we're all diving in. So no real surprises there. As nice and aggressive on pit lane entry. We are tucked up behind them then. So Antonelli now going to take the lead of his home Grand Prix. That must be pretty good for the Italian fans, but I'm sure they are all cheering on Leclerc. Well, we need a good stop, please, team. Go, go, go. Let me go. What are we waiting for? Oh, Norris has jumped Leclerc.
Looks like a nice stop time. We're happy with that one.
As Ocon then is going to get the jump on the lot of us, but of course he's going to have to pit again in this race, and none of us are hoping to.
Complete. See these tyres through to the end now.
Seem to have lost out slightly in all of that, so we're going to be wheel to wheel with Bortoletto back in towards turn 1. So Hulkenberg gets the elbows out with Charles Leclerc. We will not even entertain the battle with Gabriel Bortoletto. Huge dive bomb down in that first corner.
Okay, mate,
and I think he had a bit of a mistake anyway.
Keep them behind, please. It's critical for our race.
But that pit stop cycle then has really helped out Lando Norris here, just giving him a bit of breathing room at the front. But we need to find a way around the Hulk. Hopefully now, it's going to be a fairly simple one there. Or to the outside, the German giving me a bit of a squeeze. But annoyingly, we are not in the range of Charles Leclerc either. Just trying to hang on to the car through the Ascari chicane. We'll find a lot of grit there, but the AI... I mean, I'm using battery and I'm losing time down this straight then as Norris trying to look for a move. I don't even know who that's on at the moment. This race is near impossible to try and keep tabs on with everything going on around the place, but trying to stay in the range of Charles Leclerc, and it's not going to happen again for us. We've got to hope that these guys battle just up in front really, really aggressively there as Sainz. I believe it's Sainz, Ocon and Norris all duking it out. No, it's... who's that? It's an Alpine. Is that Gasly? Yes, it is. So, luckily, all that has done is allowed us to close back in. Ocon and Albon, they are probably the only two that might make that two-stop strategy work up in front, but they have got to run like crazy. No Norris at this stage. He is driving like a man possessed. He is driving like a certain driver that wants to, keep closing in on the World Championship he learnt from 2024 what needs to be done.
Be aware, these tyres need to get us to the end of this race.
The gap at the moment in the World Championship, less than 50 points. How much more can he rein it in over these next couple of weekends? There is all Gasly. I mean, he is losing so much time. Did he start on hards? I honestly can't remember what Gasly's start strategy was. But I need to stick with Leclerc. We can work together in this race. And we won't let the McLaren get too far in front. But a bit like what we've occasionally seen IRL this year, Carlos Sainz maybe leaving, well, getting kicked out of Ferrari and moving to Williams wasn't a bad choice for him. Certainly seems to have worked in this career mode so far. But as Norris then, new fastest lap of the day, he is going in pursuit of our top two.
0.5 seconds.
Again then, tucked up behind Albon. Oh, sorry, Sainz even. Down the inside of the pair of them, though. We are way too hot into turn one. But we get it slowed down the inside there. We'll just drag the car over the curbing, though. And that, I'm going to say, a little bit of underfloor damage, I believe. Or underbody. But anyway, yeah, we just want to stick with Leclerc. I don't genuinely believe I'm any faster than him at the moment.
Taking a little damage, just watch out for it.
So Sainz again tries to have a look around the outside, but let's just try and hang on to Leclerc and see if he can close in on Lando. Oh, there we go. Esteban Ocon into the pit lane then. So the first of the front runners to blink once more. And now we'll get a better idea of what the gap is going to be towards the end of the afternoon. As to the outside of Charles Leclerc we will go. At the moment, though, we're just not really closing in on Lando Norris, and that's not going to help either of us out really either. As Leclerc will try to defend the inside down towards turn one. We will get around him, but I think all I can do is get around Leclerc, drain the battery, and then lose the spot to him again, and hope that in the process we've kind of gained a bit of time over Lando Norris. It's not a particularly reliable way of doing things, but the McLaren man, once again, just seems to be in another league at the front of the order. As there we go, Alex Albon into the pit lane in his Williams car, so we're going to be back up then into second place here, but, I mean, yeah, is Charles Leclerc going to be able to get the gap on me? How is an 18.3 not purple? How quick is the best lap here so far?
Braking into corners to recharge it.
Annoyingly, I think Leclerc hasn't got back past us down in towards turn one. Oh, no! As I've got no battery either, and that might cost us quite badly. Leclerc will say thank you very much. Just a huge drive of torque off of turn one.
So do your best to get past and get on with the race.
Team have told me I need to get back past him, but that is the win definitely gone. I mean, I don't know how many years we've moaned about this, but I desperately hope at some point EA fix the way the AI work inside these games. I mean, for those of you that don't know, they basically don't calculate battery. Like, they just get to use it whenever they feel like. Now, it's kind of most prominent around circuits like this. Silverstone is another great example as well. But no matter how much battery you use or how much battery you charge, it's just some venues where they've just got more. So, I mean, the fact that we were ever really in the fight for a win here, especially after qualifying, was nothing short of a bit of a miracle. But with 6 laps to go, we are really just trying to hang on and position ourselves where we are. I'm just hoping that Oscar Piastri doesn't sense an opportunity to try and close in. But honestly, a podium here, I will take. On to the final lap then of the Grand Prix. It's a bit of a shame. The last 2 races have been very, very quiet towards the end. But ultimately, yeah, for us in this Red Bull today, we just haven't had the speed, to be honest. And I think even to get a podium, I'm pretty happy with here. Oscar Piastri only 2 seconds behind now. But we have just been controlling this towards the end of the afternoon. But annoyingly, it is going to be another 10 points lost to Lando Norris in the World Championship. I really did feel like, before the British Grand Prix weekend, that hopefully we were going to wrap this up with a few races to go, to be honest. We could already start thinking about where we would head next inside this career mode. But Lando Norris suddenly starting to make our life a whole lot more difficult. So we've had quite a few championship battles with him so far inside F1 25. And tomorrow, actually, when this video goes live, we will be doing the season finale of our LH44 career mode, which again, that championship is between us and Lando Norris. Through the final corner, though, the McLaren man, back-to-back victories this season. He is down, but not out in the World Championship hunt. Lando Norris will claim victory here at the Temple of Speed. Charles Leclerc in front of the Tifosi will come through for second. We can only get P3.
Yes, and that's a podium. Excellent drive. The whole team have worked especially hard this weekend, and that, my friend, is a fantastic reward. Well done.
And here he comes. It's all go, go, go for Lando Norris as he takes the checkered flag and wins.
And that's 2 wins in a row now, of course, Crofty. And it marks the fact that it's not a fluke. So, you know, their head's in the right space. What more can we see going forwards?
From lights out to the checkered flag, this is what they're racing for. It's points and a trip to the podium. He holds the trophy aloft, and why shouldn't he? A richly deserved win today for Lando Norris.
Well, there we are then. Lando Norris in what has got to be one of the quickest races of all time. He will claim victory here at the Temple of Speed. Charles Leclerc in P2 ahead of myself and Oscar Piastri there. Esteban Ocon, he'll be a bit disappointed. Should have been right at the front, but was the best of the 2 stoppers today. But it was never going to be a strategy that was going to pay dividends there. Albon ahead of both Mercedes as, yeah, George Russell, I'm sure. I mean, from the back of the field to P8, actually, is pretty good going, especially with the fastest lap there. But Verstappen, pole position on the 1 stop, 9th. An absolute disaster once again for our teammate, as this season, I think he just wants to honestly forget about it in its entirety. Carlos Sainz there grabs the final points position, but Williams will be kicking themselves this weekend because that was a golden opportunity for them to claim a victory. Only Franco Colapinto, though, who failed to see the checkered flag. What does that do to our World Championship? Well, it means now, yeah, a 37 gap at the top of the table. But, I mean, it is a 2-horse race, isn't it? As Piastri now tied with Albon, 150 points back. Honestly, I think Leclerc deserves 3rd this year. He has been so consistent in that Ferrari. Had it been a better car, he would have definitely been in the championship fight. Sainz still just ahead of Verstappen, though, as Esteban Ocon crosses the 100-point barrier, still ahead of his teammate Lewis Hamilton. Russell inside your top 10 overall. And then you can see further down the order, still doing Bortoletto and both V-Carbs yet to score. Constructors-wise, though, the gap at the top now just 4 between Red Bull and McLaren, so this is going to be a real fight throughout the remainder of the season. Williams, again, they probably could have been under 100 points back this weekend had they gone with a normal strategy, as 1 point in it between Aston Martin and Ferrari as well. There were a lot of battles going on up and down the table. Thank you all so much for watching, though. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure to leave a like, get yourself subscribed, and we'll be back very soon when Formula 1 returns ready for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix.